So you read the title correctly. We're finally gonna get that iOS beta, and it's actually coming sooner than you'd think. Plus, I have a bit of info on how the Android beta went and what changes will be made to mobile as a result. Mobile news has been pretty quiet recently, but Jagex's latest post has given us a massive amount of new information to cover. Anyway, the post is a little long, so let's dive into it. So the post starts out with feedback on the Android beta. They start out by saying that ever since the test finished, they've been analyzing data and taking the next steps to improve mobile. The most frequent concern they saw were how usable certain features are on mobile platforms, and as a result are taking these next few steps. These changes are currently mobile only, but they're open to pulling them for desktop as well. The first change is banking, which is currently pretty tedious. As a result, they'll be adding these buttons to the bottom of the banking interface, that way you don't have to use the right-click context menu every time you want to deposit a certain amount of each item. This same feature will also exist for buying and selling items in shops. Next is the Spellbook Interface. Currently, spells are very close together, and this can become a pretty big issue on mobile. They're looking into changing it, but don't really have a solution yet. Next is a Customizable Ui. Simply put, it's not going to happen because of how much time it would take up, and with current usability scores, it simply isn't worth it. Next is an overhaul to the login screen. This is personally one of my favorite features. The team has decided to give you the ability to allow your password to be authenticated for 30 days every time you log in. That means as long as you log in once a month, you'll never have to enter your password again. Along with this, they're also working on adding something, in my opinion, that is even better than the login feature. Mobile will feature in-app account recovery, creation, and payments. This means to renew your membership or to create a new account, you don't even have to leave the app. For some, this may seem like a no-brainer, but the way RuneScape is set up on desktops, you can't do either of these things without going to the RuneScape website. Next is how you drop items. To make it a little less tedious, they'll be introducing a drop mode, meaning you press a button at the top of the interface to turn on drop mode, drop all the items you want simply by tapping on them, and turn drop mode off. Next, which I think will be amazing for those new to old school, and everyone in general really, is the controls tutorial. Since old school's controls on desktop can be sometimes a little confusing, having a tutorial on how to use the mobile controls will be great. Second to last is Tooltips. For those that don't know what these are, an example of them is when you hover over a skill, you see how much XP you have until you get the next level. The team says that they want these to exist in mobile too, but are still looking for a way to implement them properly. Lastly is the Actions Perform feature, meaning the little X that shows up when you click on something on the desktop version. The team believes the X is currently too small to be seen behind your finger, so it's been removed. But they're looking for a new way to introduce the concept of being able to see what you've done after you've tapped on it. So the next and final section of this video is what I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for, the iOS beta. Originally, it was planned to be launched in March, but has been moved to April, with the exact date being April 13th, just a few short weeks away. So, how many people are getting invited to this beta? Well, they don't really know yet, but iOS users will be happy to hear it will be larger than the Android beta. Also, before the iOS beta launches, they'll be introducing a mobile FAQ page on the old school homepage, which will become the new page for all mobile news. Now, for those of you with Androids who didn't get into the last one, don't worry because a cross-platform beta will be launching soon after the iOS beta closes, but with no exact date available just yet. Now, after all this, and depending on the results of the betas, they plan on opening mobile up to existing players and leaving it open to as many people as possible. This is also when they'll start to introduce some major features, such as the previously discussed login overhaul. Once again, there's no real exact date on this one either, or if it'll even happen, but I'm definitely pretty excited for it. Lastly, it's too late to register for the iOS and cross-platform beta, but if you haven't already, you should still register your interest in future betas. The link for that can be found on the news post on the old school homepage. Anyway, that's about it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget to drop a like. As always, thank you to my Patreon supporters whose names are on screen now. Anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.